started organizing ourselves right from 1990, and we're the very first to identify the potential of beekeeping. But we came to call it bee farming because we wanted to highlight the fact that it is an occupation where you have to take care to do things. You don't just go and keep, because the idea of beekeeping gives the impression that you go and keep a hive and then harvest the honey. But you have to be doing certain things to ensure that the bees produce honey. So you have to plant trees, you have to take care of your hive and prevent pests from reaching the hive, all that. So we gave the name bee farming to highlight the responsibility of the person who wants to work in the honey sector. He has to do things other than just keeping a hive. We start with honey production, because that's the basis of any activity in bee farming. The first thing is to produce honey. We train rural people on how to produce good honey, because there's no use producing honey which is not marketable. So we teach our rural people how to construct a good hive, how to install it well, and then how to harvest it properly. So we do that at a very basic level. The very survival of the activity depends on the environment in which they are operating. And one factor, apart from water and other things, is the availability of trees that can produce nectar and pollen. If those are not plentiful around your hive, the bees will spend a lot of time traveling long distances and will produce you small honey. But when they are close to the hive, all the bees will produce you heavy combs and a lot of honey. The trees that we propagate are really common trees, common in the sense that they are not, some of them are exotic, which means that they are brought from outside. Some of them are local, and strange enough, the very useful ones are not the exotic ones. They are the ones that grew around our houses, like bitter leaf, what is commonly called bitter leaf, and trees like mangoes and pear tree, and then flowers that you plant around your house, which have a lot of pollen. You can see bees visiting them. Marigold is one. Lantana is another one. Lantana, which grows like a herb with very heavy, small flowers. It's very good for the bees. And this is an activity that a beekeeper should be interested in, because it is the base of getting the nectar and the pollen that the bees produce the honey. So when we train people to keep their environment intact and proper and avoid bushfires and keep their hives and take care of the hives, we teach them how to harvest properly and then how to store. Yes, because honey needs careful storing, for the fact that honey is said to be hydroscopic, which means that it can attract water from the air onto itself. And so if you leave your honey open, if you get extracted honey and put in a plate and place it on your table, within 1 hour you will come and you wonder, somebody has added water to the honey, it is so light.
Bee farming has become a very exciting activity today, especially to those who embraced the idea and accepted to be trained.
We train them in a very simple process, which when used, they harvest and remove immediately. Because when you harvest your honey and you remove it immediately, there are no complications of using heat, as you saw in our factory there. We are using heat because it has been stored for a long time and it has hardened. But if it is a farmer who has gone to his farm and harvested honey, he can come and drain it, because the temperature of the hive is very high. If you ever harvest honey, you put your hand in the hive to take a comb, you can hear the high temperature. So the temperature of the hive is very high, and the honey is always in a liquid state. So when the farmers harvest it and bring home, they can easily clean the covering, because when the honey is ready, the bees seal it and it remains in the liquid state. So if you come home and scrape the coverings, the seals, then the liquid will flow out easily. You only need to put it on a flat surface and it will drain out completely. The honey the bees produce, particularly the honey bee, has various shades and colors, various tastes. Some honey looks dark, some look light, like the light engine oil, very light, can almost see it through. All these depend on the nature of the nectar. So for example, the honey from coffee looks dark, from the flowers of coffee looks dark. The one from eucalyptus looks light, and so. But there is in Cameroon a unique type of honey that is produced only at one spot. One spot, not only in Cameroon, but the whole of Africa. There is a type like that in Europe, but it's produced from a different plant. So we have a unique gift that is found almost nowhere in the world. And that is the white honey produced on the Kilum Mountain and the Ijim Highlands. You can have it only in that area. And because its production is very, very limited, in a very narrow spot like that, its price is very high. You know, it is not that it is better honey than other varieties, it is that its supply is very small. And it has a unique taste.